Hello, so welcome to today's class of Vedic astrology. Learning Vedic astrology in an accurate, in a proper, in an original way. The original Vedic astrology, that's what I'm teaching in this particular course. And in today's class, let's start with Drishti. So, Drishti is an English word. What it means is aspect. So, when I say that a planet in a particular horoscope chart has a particular Drishti, it means that planet is looking at some other house in a particular horoscope. Means if a planet is sitting in one particular house, using its drishti, it is aspecting some other houses, and if some planets are sitting in other houses, then that particular planet using its drishti will be aspecting those planets in some other house. So to explain and to know in details, each planet, all of the 9 planets have a particular drishti, and whenever I talk about drishti, it is an aspect and it always goes anti-clockwise. So before I start talking on this particular topic, I want all of you to draw a horoscope chart for suppose an Aries Lagna. All right, so you can pause this video and you can draw that horoscope chart. Also, if you are suddenly joining me in today's class 5, then if I tell you now, if you hear me talking and telling you that draw a particular Aries Lagna horoscope chart, you will not be able to understand what I'm saying. So it is very essential for you to start watching my videos from class 1 itself, because if you don't watch my videos from the beginning, you will not be able to understand certain terms and terminologies that I will be referring in today's videos or in the upcoming videos. So please go step by step, start watching my videos from class 1, and then you go to class 2, then class 3, and so on and so forth. All right, so if you still haven't watched my class 1, you will not be able to understand how to draw a horoscope chart of an Aries Lagna. All right, so which particular house will be indicating which particular Rashi. In order to know that, you have to watch my class 1. And again, I'm saying the same thing. Watch class 2, class 3, class 4, and then come to today's class. So I hope you have drawn the Aries Lagna horoscope chart. Now, let's talk about every planet. Now, Sun, S-U-N, Sun. Sun is having 7th Drishti, means suppose Sun is sitting in your first house of the horoscope, right? So using its 7th Drishti, Sun will be aspecting 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5, 6, 7, the 7th house. So if Sun is sitting in the first house, through its 7th Drishti, Sun will also be seeing the 7th house. So if any planet is sitting in the 7th house, Sun will have a pratiyukti, or you can say through its aspect, Sun will give its effects on that particular house which it is aspecting, and also on that particular planet which is sitting in that particular house. So in my example, what I just said, it's the 7th house. It means I'm giving you a further example so that you will be having a better idea. Suppose Sun is sitting in the 3rd house, all right, in the same Aries Lagna horoscope chart. Now, from the 3rd house, Sun will have the 7th Drishti, means 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Sun will also aspect the 9th house. Now, if Sun, for another thing you have to understand, if Sun is Yoga Karka for this particular horoscope chart, suppose, then sun will have a positive effect on the third house where it is sitting. Sun will also have a positive effect on the ninth house, that is to which it is giving its seventh drishti. And also, suppose if the ninth house, a yoga karka planet is also sitting over there in the ninth house, so sun will further increase or enhance the good effects of that ninth house, because already a yoga karka planet is sitting in the ninth house, because of which the ninth house is giving good effects. And also sun, through its yoga karka drishti, will also further enhance the effects of the ninth house. All right, and the entire thing will be completely reverse if sun is maraka. Means even if ninth house is very positive, if sun is sitting in the third house, then sun will, suppose if sun is maraka in a particular horoscope lagna chart, then sun will have a negative aspect on the third house, because sun itself is maraka, that is inauspicious. And sun with his seventh drishti will also create some inauspicious maraka effects on the ninth house. And even if a yoga karka planet is sitting in the ninth house, because sun is maraka and is giving its seventh drishti in the ninth house, that yoga karka planet's effect which is sitting in the ninth house will be obstructed, will be hindered because of sun's maraka seventh drishti. So now you understood how to utilize this concept of drishti, right? It is very essential to understand, first of all, the effect of that particular planet, the drishti of that particular planet, the effect of the house where that particular planet is sitting, and also the effect on that house to which that particular planet is giving its drishti. Drishti means aspect. So similarly, like sun is having its seventh drishti, moon also gives us seventh drishti. So whatever I have referred about sun, the same goes for moon also, anti-clockwise. Again, giving you one more example. If moon is sitting in the fifth house, means moon will give its drishti on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Moon will have its seventh drishti on the 11th house. So regarding the results of the 11th house, moon also has or plays an important factor, because moon is also giving a drishti on the 11th house, despite of the fact moon is sitting in the 4th house, because moon is having its drishti. Now whether it is yoga karka drishti, maraka drishti, that will depend on moon itself, whether moon is yoga karka or maraka for that particular horoscope lagna chart. So Mars has 3 drishtis, 4, 7, 8, right? It has its 4th drishti, 7th drishti and 8th drishti. Now for example, if Mars is sitting in the 6th house, so Mars will have first of all its 4th drishti, means 6, 7, 8, 9. Mars will aspect the 9th house, then 10, 11, 12. Mars will aspect the 12th house, 7th drishti, and then first Mars will aspect the first house of that horoscope too, that is his 8th drishti. So from a particular house where Mars is sitting, Mars will aspect the 4th house, means 4th drishti, 7th drishti and 8th drishti, right? And even if a particular planet is sitting in a particular house to which Mars is giving its drishti, that planet's results will also be manipulated or changed either in a positive way or in a negative way. It depends on the drishti of Mars, and the drishti of Mars depends on Mars itself, whether Mars is yoga karka or maraka for that particular horoscope lagna chart. Now let's look at Jupiter. So Jupiter will have its 5, 7, 9. 5th drishti, 7th drishti, 9th drishti. Mercury will have only one drishti, that is seventh drishti. Saturn will have three drishtis, third, seventh, and 10th. All right. Venus again has only one drishti, that is seventh drishti. Rahu has the same drishti as Jupiter. Rahu and Ketu both has the same drishti as Jupiter, that is the fifth, seventh, and ninth. All right. So let's again review it. There are four planets which has only one drishti, that is Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus. All of these four planets has only one drishti, that is the seventh drishti. There are five planets which has three drishtis: Mars, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu, and Saturn. All right. So Mars has fourth, seventh, and eighth drishti. Saturn has 3, 7th, and 10th drishti. And Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu, all of these three planets have the same drishti, that is the 5th, 5th, 7th, 9th. So now you have understood, if a planet is sitting in a particular house, how that planet will give the drishti in that particular horoscope chart. Now you will be able to know perfectly. So whatever I have just discussed, you have to practice it again and again. I hope you have written down whatever I had just told and practice it. So you have to watch this video of mine again and again, or whatever, even if you're writing in the notepad, try to apply it, create your own horoscope Lagna chart and place a particular planet in a particular house randomly, and then calculate that planet is giving drishti to which particular house, just based on the information that I had said. And the drishti will remain the same irrespective of any Lagna chart. Means Jupiter will always have the 5th, 7th, 9th drishti. Saturn will always have the 3rd, 7th, 10th drishti. Venus will always have the 7th drishti. Mercury will always have the 7th drishti. All right. So now you know about the drishti of the planets, the aspects of the planet. Again, I am repeating the same thing. In order to understand the effect, the overall effect of a particular house, it is very essential to understand the lord of that particular house, where that lord of that particular house is placed in that horoscope. It is essential to understand which particular planet is placed in that particular house. And also now you know, it is also essential to understand which planet is giving its drishti on that particular house. All right. Now I will talk about certain yogas. Raj Yoga. These are basically Raj Yoga that you will be able to understand when you will see your horoscope. Just that you need to know how to know this particular yogas are forming. So the first yoga is Rashi Parivartan Yoga. So this is a Hindi term, right? I don't know what is the English translation of it. So as it is a Vedic astrology, I had also mentioned previously, certain terms and terminologies is better if you understand it from its Hindi name itself. All right, to avoid confusion. All right. So what is Rashi Parivartan Yoga? So before that, again, please draw a horoscope Lagna chart. Again, let this be of Aries Lagna. Means the first house, the lord of the first house, it's Aries. That is the Lagna. All right. Just please draw it. You can pause the video and draw that particular chart. All right. So I hope you have drawn it. And now suppose, what is Rashi Parivartan Yoga? I will explain it to you with an example. Suppose, write it down in the chart that you have drawn. In the first house, just mention Venus. And in the 7th house, mention Mars. It means, suppose Venus is sitting in the first house of that Aries Lagna. And in the same Aries Lagna, Mars is sitting in the 7th house. So now Venus and Mars is forming a Rashi Parivartan Yoga. How? All right. Understand this very carefully. what is the lord of the first house in Aries Lagna? Mars, right? What is the lord of the seventh house of that Aries Lagna? Venus. Now just understand this. The seventh house lord is sitting in the first house, and the first house lord is sitting in the seventh house. So both of these houses are interchanging their lord, their lord signs, their rashis. All right, means the first house lord, that is Mars, is sitting in the seventh house, and the seventh house lord, that is Venus, is sitting in the first house. So here there is a exchange of rashi, or you can say a rashi parivartan is happening. So in this situation, both Venus and Mars are going to give excellent results in this particular horoscope. It doesn't matter whether Venus is Yoga Karka or Maraka in that horoscope. It doesn't matter whether Mars is Yoga Karka or Maraka in this horoscope. So Mars is anyways Maraka in this particular horoscope because Mars is the Lagnesh itself. And if you just notice, you will come to know about this later in the Aries Lagna. Venus is a Maraka planet. All right, so Venus is Maraka, because you will know, because the second house lord is the enemy of the first house Lagnesh. So from this we understand also the second house lord, that is 2 in the Aries Lagna, that is Taurus. The lord of Taurus is the planet ruling Taurus is Venus. So Venus by default is Maraka in this Aries Lagna. All right, so even though Venus is Maraka in this particular Rashi Parivartan, when this Rashi Parivartan yoga is happening between Venus and Mars, Maraka Venus also becomes auspicious, highly auspicious. So in other wise, if Venus would have given a negative results, if Venus was placed in some other location where such, okay, let's make it simple. I do not want to complicate it in so far, like too much in this particular video itself. So just understand, Venus is Maraka in this horoscope, right? In this Aries Lagna, but still Venus is giving very good results because Venus is having a Rashi Parivartan yoga, and Mars anyways was Yoga Karka in this particular horoscope because it is a Mars Lagna itself. Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. So Mars will even give more auspicious results because it is forming a kind of a Raj Yoga, that is Rashi Parivartan Yoga. So I hope that you have understood what is Rashi Parivartan Yoga with this particular example. Now let's look at one more Raj Yoga. All right. So again, this time draw a Virgo horoscope Lagna. Virgo Lagna horoscope chart. So you can pause the video and draw it. So Virgo Lagna horoscope chart means the first house is ruled by Virgo, that is number 6, and so Mercury becomes the Lagnesh of this particular horoscope. All right. So in this particular Lagna chart that you have drawn, just mention Mars in house number 12. Now understand this also, you should, I'll tell you. So later how a particular house or how a particular planet in a particular Lagna chart becomes Yoga Karka or Maraka, I will explain to you all of these things completely, absolutely completely in the upcoming classes. All right, so don't get tensed if you are thinking that I am just not completely illustrating in detail why a planet becomes Yoga Karka and Maraka in a particular Lagna chart. I will explain it to you entirely in the upcoming classes. But I just wanted to tell you, touch that particular point base, otherwise you will not be able to understand these Raj Yogas. So one more Raj Yoga that I want to cover in this particular class, in this particular video, is the Vipreet Raj Yoga. All right. So you have drawn the Virgo Lagna chart. You have mentioned Mars in house number 12. So means Mars is sitting in Leo, because house number 12 is ruled by 5. All right, that is Leo. But Mars, in this horoscope, in this Lagna chart, that is in Virgo Lagna chart, Mars is Maraka. All right, Maraka means inauspicious. Again, I'll explain it to you everything in detail in the upcoming classes. But just Mars is Maraka. So Mars is supposed to give negative results in this particular Virgo Lagna chart. But Mars sitting in the 12th house here will give excellent results. Now you must be having this curiosity. Why? Even the 12th house I had just discussed in the previous classes that 6, 8 and 12, these three houses are not great, are very inauspicious by nature. But Mars sitting in the 12th house, Mars is going to give good results. Why? Because you have to understand this particular concept. If the Lord of the 6th house or the 8th house or the 12th house is sitting in either of the 6th house or the 8th house or the 12th house, then that particular Lord, that particular planet forms a Vipreet Raj Yoga. All right. So here you in the Virgo Lagna, notice this. The Lord of the 8th house, what is that? It is Aries, right? 1 is written. So Lord of the 8th house is Mars. Now Mars is sitting in the 12th house. That is forming a Vipreet Raj Yoga. Because again, if the Lord of the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house is sitting in either of the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house, it forms a Vipreet Raj Yoga. So even if Mars, now the same Mars, even if it was sitting in the 6th house or in the 8th house itself, it will still be forming Vipreet Raj Yoga. All right. So I have just illustrated to you, touched this particular point about Vipreet Raj Yoga. So here Mars is going to give great results. When? Now, question is when? Especially during its dashas. That is during its Mahadasha and during its Andardasha. Still, I'll just point two things as I have touched this Vipreet Raj Yoga. Number one, for Vipreet Raj Yoga to be completely effective, the Lagnesh has to be extremely strong, or not extremely strong. The Lagnesh has to be strong or well placed. Means in this particular horoscope, in the Virgo Lagna, what is the Lagnesh? Is Mercury. So Mercury needs to be well placed. Mercury is by default auspicious Yoga Karka for this particular horoscope chart. But if the same Mercury is placed in the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house, then the Vipreet Raj Yoga will not form. In that aspect, Mars will give bad results because the Lagnesh itself is not strong. When the Lagnesh sits in 6th house, 8th house and 12th house, even if the Lagnesh is the Lord of either of the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house, and the Lagnesh is sitting in either of the 6th house, 8th house or 12th house, Lagnesh doesn't form any Vipreet Raj Yoga. So for example, so in this you will come to know in the later upcoming classes. So just Lagnesh needs to be strong for any Vipreet Raj Yogas to take place. And one more thing also, many people will say that if a particular planet is having a Vipreet Raj Yoga, please wear its gemstone because that planet will give negative or positive result itself. Yes, but wearing a gemstone for even if the planet is having Vipreet Raj Yoga is not recommended because that planet is still sitting in the bad houses 6, 8, 12. So you don't want to wear gemstones if a planet is sitting in the bad houses until and unless that same planet is getting ast. But that planet needs to be Yoga Karka, or in this case a Vipreet Raj Yoga. Raj Yoga needs to form. If with good planets, auspicious planets, Yoga Karka planets or Raj Yoga planets gets ast, means gets combusted by the sun, then only in that aspect, that planet gemstone you can wear if the planet is sitting in 6th, 8th or 12th house. All right. So now when I say ast, combust, means if a planet comes to a certain degrees sitting close with sun, means in the same house or in adjacent houses, like one house before, one house after, if the degrees between the sun or that particular planet is of a particular degrees, we also have that degrees mentioned in Vedic astrology. then that particular planet is said to be ast, means combusted by sun. When a planet gets combusted by sun, there are two ways of seeing it. If a Yogakarka planet is getting combusted by sun, that Yogakarka planet will not be able to give good effects because that is getting ast by sun. One planet gets ast. Ast is a Hindi word, all right? If a Maraka planet gets ast by sun, that is a fantastic, that's a blessing, because then the Maraka planet will not be able to give bad effects, because that Maraka planet loses its Maraka power, inauspicious power, because that is getting combusted by sun. All right. So this is some ways of looking at what is that ast means. All right. Two more topic or two more meanings I want to unfold before I conclude this particular video. Yukti means when two or more planets is sitting in a particular house, we say there is a yukti between two or more planets. All right. Two or more planets sitting in one single house, that is called yukti. All right. It's a Hindi word. Some say conjunction, then you can say yukti also. Pratiyukti. Pratiyukti is when two planets aspect each other with their seventh drishti. That is called pratiyukti. Means suppose when there is a yukti between two planets, the two planets combined gives a kind of an effect. Pratiyukti also has the same thing. So this especially happens when we talk about certain Raj Yogas, Gaj Kesari. There are a lot of Raj Yogas, all right. So Raj Yogas are especially formed. I'm not talking about the Viprit Raj Yoga, Rashi Parivartan Yoga, or I'm not talking about the Panchmahar Purush, or I'm not talking about the Neej Pang. I'm talking about Raj Yogas, which are formed with combinations of two planets, especially two planets. So in that particular Raj Yoga, that effect is highly effective when it is a combination of the two planets are sitting in one particular house. But Raj Yogas also form when there is a pratiyukti between two planets using their seventh drishti. All right. So both the planets are aspecting each other from their seventh drishti. I have just discussed about drishti at the starting of today's class. All right. So I believe this is what I wanted to discuss in this particular class. I hope you are enjoying the classes of Vedic astrology. Please subscribe to this particular channel. Whatever I'm saying to you is so extremely beneficial for you to learn, and so that you will be improving your life, and through the knowledge which you are learning, which you are gathering, which you are inculcating from all of these videos, you will be able to transform other people's lives too. And the only thing that I'm asking is requesting is please subscribe to this particular channel, like this video, share this video, and if you have certain queries, certain doubts that you want me to answer, please share them in the comment section, right? I'll see you in the next class. Take care. Have a nice day.